Okay. Now, hello YouTube here. Before I start out, after I introduce myself, I'm Lisa State of the YouTube channels of Lisa State and Hitler Obsessed. I will do a bit of an update on my channel though. Sorry that I have not updated a whole lot. I've not been busy with a lot of transfer stuff for Sac State and graduation school. So, if you excuse me for that little bit of things turning up so important, great, thank you. Now, on to part 22 of the life and death of Adolf Hitler. Now, what I was bringing up about propaganda in one of the most simplest, watered down, harmless forms is your local advertising break, or no ad break, or commercial break on television, or your ads in your magazine, or magazines, newspapers, junk mail, especially junk mail, or those little things that say skip ad. Yeah, those things, also known as ads that people get money for here on YouTube. Oh, look, a Facebook page. Somebody posted to me. Oh, thank you. I'll see that later on. But back to what I was saying, that the most watered down version is also that lovely thing that says skip ad, usually at the bottom left hand corner, that costs many a YouTuber to lose some money because that's what they depend on, is a form of propaganda trying to get you to sell stuff. It's very harmless propaganda, not like the Nazis, but no, it's in a way many a YouTuber has suffered financially because of it. You've heard this person. A bit of a tangent there, a bit of a joke there. Well, back to what I was saying about Hitler's life and death. Hitler would use propaganda. His first job in the German Workers' Party was a propaganda minstrel, so he knew all about that. In a way, trying to get someone to do something for you, it takes a very skilled person, a lot of charisma. So think of Hitler versus, I guess nowadays, most people, you got YouTube and stuff, TikTok, it's pretty easy. Probably not, definitely not. No, back in Hitler's day, probably was the same situation. You don't make it big, unless you play by the rules of the algorithm today. Or in Hitler's situation, you get enough votes. That's the algorithm. You get the votes, you get position, you get people to like you. Hitler's first job was propaganda before that became Joseph Goebbels' part. Now, Hitler would also have, go into a couple of other things Hitler would do. What's a couple of things? Oh yeah, he would definitely, what was the other things? I'm trying to pick and choose between stuff that's, probably not safe for this channel to be turning up in the first place with Hitler. He's not the best character. And even certain personal behaviors of his could get me in a lot of hot water on YouTube too. So, yay. Me. It's Hitler for doing that one. Yay. Okay, so I'm guessing the next thing I'll probably talk about is some of Hitler's plans on invasion of other areas before he invaded Austria through the Auschwitz. Was the invasion of Ireland and the Saarland that were taken over by the French at first. They were actually taken over by the French because of Germany not having the money to pay the war reparations during the stock market crash of 1929. Hitler would make sure to try to reclaim, because a lot of that area was industrial, so it meant that Hitler could get more bang for his buck, to say, or more tanks out of that, or whatever, for his war. There was other plans that he's wanting to plan. But even though that part of Germany was a part of Germany at the time, he did have kind of control, except he had to get the French out. And so eventually he tries to threaten them with war, and they bail on him. And a little bit of an interesting fact for anyone into African American history or African history. Some of the African soldiers had German wives and girlfriends they had kids with, so it was all these, I guess, I won't say African American, but French, African, German kids there in Germany, in the Rhineland, in the Saarland, that Hitler would actually sadly have exterminated because of his racist ideology. So a little bit of a sad fact there that he would have. And other little things that he would have, at this time before, during the, I guess around the time I had long knives, he'd have places like Dachau and the labor camps that would so forth. The enemies of the state would also know people he deemed inferior, Jewish people, and he would also have even a lot of the homeless from that were people that fell in hard times in Germany at the time, during the complete destruction of the economy of the Weimar Republic. He would have them rounded up, sent to the camps, and either they would be made to be forced to labor or be killed, or labor and then be killed, because Hitler considered them as parasites and deadbeats, wastes of human life, even though Hitler was once on the streets. I know, weird thing for Hitler to do. But, again, this is Hitler. He's kind of exception to the rule of things, Just because I went through this doesn't mean I have to let everyone else who went through it exist. So that's Hitler's kind of mindset. Not validating for the guy, not supporting him. I think he's a terrible guy. He is definitely a horrible kind of person, mass mortal, but eventually Hitler would take these areas, the French would just leave, and Hitler would march in, and Hitler would go make more military pieces for his war. And Hitler would next make sure that he would have Austria annexed to what was called the Auschwitz. And now Hitler believed, and I don't know if there's any facts about this, but in Mein Kampf, not the most referenced factual source, but Hitler does talk about this. People in Austria that were German wanted to be unified with the country, the Empire of Germany at the time, which was the Hohenzollern, with the Habsburg, Austria, which was part of the Habsburgs. There was people that were against the Habsburg Empire in Austria that were pro-German, of the pan-German political party, and they wanted supposedly unification. Now, Hitler probably was making this because he wanted unification. Forget what everyone else was thinking. He wanted to bring it up as it's a childhood mindset that people had. What kind of kid has that? No one. Not that I know of. Unless one that was really, really demented, really pounded into the head in politics, which Hitler does. Actually, kid did not praises his history professor. In high school there, for teaching him how actually history works. He actually knew how that worked. A little bit tangent there. How history is meant by cause and effect, which was interesting to say the least for so many people I've met over the years at this college and in society that don't understand how history works and thinks it's just a bunch of dead white guys or a bunch of dead people. Or, oh, well, there's always somebody in history trying to be God.
Why did you quiet?
So yeah, I mean, even he understood that, but then he goes on to praise his history professor or teacher in school that, well, they also taught me about politics and made me a little political rebel. So that's great. Always indoctrinate the kids and the students. One thing you don't do in history as a teacher or professor in anything, any subject, is indoctrinate the kids or the adults or the students. You never talk politics in that in education. Just don't, because people look up to you as a role model. I don't like to talk about politics on this YouTube channel because people probably look up to me and expect, Lisa's going to teach us something good. Don't go looking at me for politic advice. Just a small YouTuber making videos about Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. I suggest that you do your own research and find your own opinions about things. I always tell everyone here, do your research, find your own opinions. Now back to what I was saying about Hitler and the Auschwitz was Hitler would use this little story from Mein Kampf to probably justify his means, which again, this is all turns back to our lovely friend propaganda. Now I'm going to end this video and try not failing again to propagandize you and convince you to subscribe to my YouTube channels of Lisa State and Hitler Obsessed. Like these videos, hit the bell icon to see all notifications on all new uploaded videos. Set it to all, only to all. Subscribe, share these videos, and leave a comment. You can donate to my Patreon and my subscribe stall and become a patron on my Patreon. And you can definitely go to my BitChute.com channel at BitChute.com. That's Lisa Marie State. That's one word smashed together. And you can definitely send me a friend request or a message, or do both, to my Facebook account of Lisa State, and my Facebook Messenger account at Lisa State. So you can do those, and you can enjoy, and on to part 23 of the life and death of Adolf Hitler, the never-ending lecture series, because there's so much on this guy. Bye now.